Why do so many people want to move to Tokyo, Japan? Are there employment opportunities? What about the cost of living in the city? Well, in this video, I will show you how much it costs to live here, if you are planning to move permanently or for a short term. And at the end, I will show you few ways you can save money and cut living expenses in Tokyo. Hi. Welcome to Cost of Living, where I show the amount money required to cover necessary expenses to maintain a certain lifestyle for different countries and cities. Tokyo, the capital of Japan, is the administrative, cultural, financial, commercial, and educational center of Japan. With a population just under 14 million in 2022. The city is known for its iconic landmarks, like the Tokyo Sky Tree and Shibuya Crossing. The central area is divided into 23 special wards, 26 cities, 3 towns, and 1 village. And according to internal migration statistics, the number of people moving into Tokyo in 2021 was about 420,167. Housing cost. Tokyo is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live and to rent a home. However, average rent in the Tokyo 23 wards varies widely, depending on the location of the apartment, layout, room size, distance from the nearest station, and among other factors. Unfurnished apartments make up the majority of available properties in central Tokyo. Apartments range widely from compact studio-type units to large 5 LDK units, low-rises and high-rises, apartments that allow pets, designers' apartments, vintage apartments, apartments with specifications geared towards foreigners, luxurious apartments with hotel-like concierge services, apartments with earthquake-proof structure, and etc. The average price for one-bedroom apartment in the city center is about $1,106 per month in 2022. And if you rent outside of the center, it will be about $634 per month. Studio apartments in Tokyo are highly in demand as there are many students studying in the universities. The average rental price for studio rentals is $892 as 2022. And for a 2-bedroom apartment is $1,903 per month. The average price for 3-bedroom apartment in the city center is $2,408 per month. And outside the city center is about $1,305 per month as 2022. Here are some of the wards with the cheapest rents. Edogawa Ward, Katsushika Ward, and Adochi Ward, with an average rent of $408 per month. Popular wards include Shibuya, Shinjuku, and Toshima, with an average rent of $530 per month. Process of renting. You should generally begin your home search at least 2 weeks prior to your desired move-in date. It's a good idea to start your hunt by browsing apartments online, from sites like Tokyo Apartment Inc. and Minimini. Alternatively, if you're looking to live with a roommate, you can start looking for one on sites like Roomster, Roomshare, and Gaijin Pot. It's also worth remembering to look for apartments that advertise being Gaijin, which means foreigner-friendly, as landlords are known to either highly prefer or, conversely, flat-out refuse to rent to non-Japanese people. Once you find a home to rent, you should request it, and spend at least 1 to 2 days viewing the property before moving in. The time it takes to receive a response to your application varies by landlord. One landlord may give you an answer immediately, while another may take up to 10 days when a background check of applicants is required. If accepted, move on to drafting a lease, which generally is prepared in Japanese. An English translation may be available depending on the landlord. A copy will be sent to your corporate HR for review, negotiation, and approval. Your real estate agent will also review the lease terms. And once all parties agree, the contract is made. The landlord will require you to put down a deposit, which would amount to 1 to 3 months' rent. Landlords may also require you to pay key money, which is non-refundable, typically of 1 to 2 months' rent. After you have completed all that, you can now move in. Gas and electric. Utility expenses like electricity and gas depend on the area, property, and the supply company that you choose. So your cost may become high if you do not know how it works. According to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications, Household Survey 2021, the average monthly electricity bill for one person was $38. And the average gas bill usage for one person was $20. In winter, the usage time of heating appliances increases, and the electricity bill tends to increase. The electricity bill can go as high as $47 from January to March, when the temperature is low. And it's down to $35 from April to June, a relatively comfortable season. And the Tokyo Electric Power Company supplies electricity in Tokyo. Water bill. Water is from using the drinkable water from the faucet, and sewerage for draining domestic wastewater. Therefore, the average cost for water varies depending on the water department of each municipality, situation of the local government, and population density. For instance, the average cost of water for one person in Kanagawa is $15.27 per month, and Omori is $31.49. Unlike electricity and gas charges, you cannot choose a service for water charges, but you can save on water charges by moving to a municipality with a low water charge. You can visit Tokyo Water Company Limited for more information. Internet and cell phones. When it comes to internet in Tokyo, you'll likely have a choice between home Wi-Fi and fiber optic. Both are super fast. You're generally looking at a minimum of 50 megabits per second and a maximum of 1 gigabit per second to 10 gigabits per second with fiber. Since 10 megabits per second is still considered a decent, in some parts of the world, even the 100 megabits per second end of the spectrum should be more than fast enough to serve your needs. The setup and installation fees can be anything from $21.38 up to $285.10. So, look out for deals that waive this amount, or allow you to pay it off over 12 to 36 months. Here's some of the best internet providers that you can choose from. Wi-Fi-rental.com with up to 187.5 megabits per second, and a minimum contract period of 35.64 a month. Mobile Wi-Fi with up to 150 megabits per second, and a minimum contract period of 3 months for 35.50 a month. And SoftBank, with up to 1 gigabit per second to 10 gigabits per second, and a minimum contract period of 24 months for $29.79. For the cell phones, the average cost is from $7.68 for 4 gigabytes, to $31.22 for 30 gigabytes. And one of the providers is mobile transport. There are many available public means of transport in Tokyo, including the trains, subway, buses, taxis, and airport transfer. The train and subway are the major public transport system used to travel around in Tokyo. When traveling from Narita Airport to the major stations in Tokyo, the Narita Express or Keisei Skyliner are convenient. And the standard seat fares would be about $22.73 for the Narita Express from the airport to major Tokyo Station, and $24 to Shinjuku Station and Shinagawa Station. The Narita Express is included in the Japan Rail Pass as well, so this is an ideal option for pass holders. Another option for traveling from Narita to Tokyo is the Keisei Skyliner, which is especially convenient for those heading to Eastern Tokyo. And a one-way ticket would cost you about $18.66. Buses in the 23 wards of Tokyo have a flat fare of $2 for adults and $1 for children. In areas other than the 23 wards of Tokyo, such as Kyoto, Osaka, and other regions, bus fares will change depending on how far you're riding, but you will usually end up paying around $2 to $3. The base fare for taxis in the 23 wards of Tokyo is about $5.23 for 1 kilometer. And in other regions, the fare usually stays around $5.23 for 2 kilometers. And if you have a valid international driver's permit, you can rent a car, which will cost you around $73 or slightly more, depending on your location and the model of the car you rent. You can visit sites like rentalcars.com for more info. Groceries. The cost of food largely depends on an individual's dietary habits and preferences. However, according to Numbeo, the average monthly cost of food for one person in Tokyo is about $471. This includes groceries, dining out, and other food-related expenses. People mainly do their grocery shopping at supermarkets. Although their number has been decreasing over the past few years, you'll be able to find small private shops that sell fresh fish, fruits, and vegetables in shopping districts of residential areas as well. Health and personal care. It is legally required to everyone that is over 20 years of age be covered by a public or private health insurance. If you are planning on living and working in Japan, it is essential that you get healthcare coverage, as some hospitals and clinics have been known to deny patients who cannot provide proof of coverage. Most clinics and hospitals will also not accept foreign healthcare coverage, leaving you liable to pay 100% of the medical cost. Japanese National Health Insurance Scheme covers people who are unemployed, those working less than 30 hours a week, students and full-time employees. It will pay 30% of their healthcare costs. The other 70% will be covered by the government. The percentage may vary slightly depending on your family and income, but at most, you should only be expected to pay 30%. Healthcare costs will differ depending on the medical treatment needed, length of time spent with the doctor, and the type of doctor you see. However, in general, if you have a health insurance, you can expect to pay anywhere from $45 to $90. For a consultation at a clinic, it will be about $90 to $140. And at a hospital, without insurance, these costs will go up to $180 to $460. And for personal care such as the beauty products and haircut would amount to $30 per month. If you love to work out and stay in shape, public gyms in Tokyo are pretty cheap and cheerful. And the biggest benefit of public gyms is that they would not require a membership. You can turn up anytime, if they are open, pay a fee and use the facility. Education. About 220,000 international students from more than 170 countries and regions of the world are studying at higher educational institutions in Japan. And the academic fees are not as high as those in the United States and the United Kingdom. In addition, many Japanese schools provide scholarship programs and tuition exemption or reduction programs to international students. Depending on what university you decide to go in Tokyo, the average tuition cost for a semester can range from less than $3,000 to almost $20,000. Here are some cheap bachelor's colleges and universities in Tokyo for international students. Tokyo Keisagakuin University, Sophia University, and Tokyo Medical and Dental University, with an average tuition fee of $2,869 per semester. Tax. Individual income taxes consist of national income tax and local inhabitant tax. Normally, a 20% withholding tax is levied on non-residents, with no deductions available. However, depending on the type of income, tax may be levied at progressive rates through self-assessment. And the effective tax rate for the highest bracket was 45% in 2020. Local inhabitant tax consists of prefectural tax, is 4% plus $10.99 of per capita levy, and 6% plus $25 per capita levy for municipal tax. Here are some ways you can to save money and cut living expenses. Strategize your buys. Timing is everything. Know when to buy. If you commute to work more than 4 days a week, buying a commuter pass is a no-brainer. And if you pay with a credit card, you can cut cost by redeeming points. And by changing your gas or electricity supplier, you can save money on your monthly utility bills. Since the retailing of electricity and gas has been liberalized in Japan, so that you can freely choose your suppliers. That's all for this video, and all the links to everything I mentioned, you will find linked in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you have any question. And if you want to know why are so many millennials are moving to Austin every day, and why its cost of living is cheaper compared to other places, you can click here to watch.